I've been out of prison 4.5 years now, and I just got another truck. I got a 2025 Honda Ridgeline, brand new, 40 miles on it or something like that. And I only tell you this because not only can you guys do it, right? I have bad credit, and I've never put any money down on any of my vehicles, right? And I've had 5 vehicles. I've actually financed 4, but I've had 5. I had a Chrysler 300. I had a 2021 Honda Tucson. I had a 2021 Kia Sorento. And now I got a 2025 Honda Ridgeline, Black Edition, brand new, right? And I literally just went in there into the dealership, and a boy from prison, old felon, right, goes into the dealership, and they give him a brand new car, right, fresh off the lot. And that makes me, I have 2 cars now, but I'm actually getting rid of 1 car, and I'm just going to stay with the Ridgeline. But I wanted to get on here and tell you how I was able to do that, because when I first got out of prison, I didn't think I was able to buy a car. You know, I didn't think maybe my self-worth, you know, I was in prison and I write a lot of stuff down and stuff like that. But I guess maybe I knew I would have new cars and stuff, but I never like actually had been in a new car or whatever to that point. I'm from the streets, right? And I was selling drugs and stuff, but I never was like balling, bro. You know, I would get up there, I would have some money and stuff like that, and then I would blow it all on some dumb stuff, or go to jail, or get on drugs or something. I was never able to, you know, get to that status where I had all the new cars and stuff. So a new car is nice to me, and you know, especially a Honda Ridgeline. You know, it's not a Lambo, but I don't want a Lambo. That ain't, to me, that ain't a success. Like, I don't know. I mean, to each his own. You want a Lambo, that's fine. You know, and I've never had a Lambo, so I can't say that I wouldn't want a Lambo. Maybe when I get to that level, but I like my truck, you know, and I'll show it to you here in the video. But I literally just walked in the dealership, and I was able to get another car. And all the automobiles I've got, I've literally put no money down, and I've walked into the dealership, and this is how I've done it, right? You're gonna have to have some kind of, I got bad credit now, but at the time, like when if you have good credit, right, or at least decent credit, anybody's going to give you a car. Because think about this, right? The car people only get paid when they sell a car. When you buy a car is the only time they get paid. If there is any possible way that they could push a car loan through, any possible way that they could push a car loan through, because they'll make $2-3 grand, they're gonna do it, 4 or 5 grand, especially if you have bad credit, because they're just gonna whack you on the interest. They're just gonna hit you really hard on the interest. So they're going to it's going to cost you a lot of money, but anybody can go get a brand new car or like a certified pre-owned. I say don't get a brand new car. I say get a certified pre-owned car, right? And especially if you're going to get a car, get something that has a warranty on it, you know, unless you're balling. If you're balling and you can afford the rolls and all that, you know, to each his own. But like if you're like out here grinding like I am, get something that makes sense, right? Don't get a truck with huge, you know, you don't live on the dirt and you're in the city and you got big jacked up rims and you're paying all this money in gas and all. You know, get something economical, something that's going to work for you, you know, something that's your style. But at the same time, live your own movie if you want something. But you could literally, I don't care if you've been to prison, you could go into a dealership and get any kind of car, and you don't have to put any money down. That is the freaking lie of the devil. You don't have to put no money down. That was the second thing I was going to bring up. Don't ever put nobody down, because it's just stupid. Why would you put money down? I'd rather take the money that I was going to put down and invest in something. And if you go into a dealership, right, and they tell you you have to put money down, that's not the person you want to talk to. You could always talk to somebody else. Go in there, literally tell them you can go in there and literally say, hey, I want this car right here, and I don't have any money down, and I'm going to get this car. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it makes no sense to put money down. Unless you were to lower your payments. If you had a substantial amount of money, right, then that's something different, right? Or, you know what I mean? Like, because that'll actually lower your payments. But if you really think about it, unless you blow up, you're literally going to be making a car payment for the rest of your life, right? Whether it's a brand new car, you're going to be, so it's all going to be, you know, basic. What are you paying a month is going to depend on, you know what I mean? I'm going to buy something nice, you know what I mean? But so when you get at, like, when I was in prison, I didn't know that I was going to be able to, you know, get this kind of stuff that I'm getting now. And, you know, so then I got the new whip, and now I couldn't be in anything less. And so, like, just go and get the car. If you're thinking about going to get the car, go get the car. Because I really believe in myself. If a lot of people say, like, oh, that's a lot of money to pay, you know, $1,000 a month or $700-800 a month or whatever, and $300 for the insurance. But I believe in myself. Facebook pays me that every month. So basically, Facebook is paying my truck, right? And then you guys can do the same exact thing, man. You know, by grinding, you know, use it as motivation. I want to get in my car and my truck sings, right? I want to feel good. I want to look good. I want to smell good. I want it to feel nice, you know? And that's just what I want to do. So a few myths, like, no, you don't have to have all that great credit, right? If you know, not at Hondas and stuff like that, you don't have to have great credit. Maybe like Benz or something like that with high, you know. But if you're spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a car, they'll just give you a car. You just literally have to have the balls to go up in there and say you want it. All right. Also, don't go to the deal. If your credit is decent and you know a bank, go to the bank first and get pre-approved, because they'll literally be able to do a soft pull on your credit and not hit your credit. If you go to a dealership, they're going to hit your credit like 1,000 times, right? So definitely don't do that. Go, now, in my spot, I had bad credit, right? I messed my credit up with all the loans. I'm getting it wiped out, but the stuff takes time because I'm, you know, that'll be a whole different video that I'll share with you on what to do to clean your credit, you know, when it's all messed up, if you messed up the loans or messed the bag up or whatever, you know. But in the meantime, the car, man, you don't need good credit as long as you're willing to pay. So that's the good takeaway of the video. You don't need good credit as long as you're willing to pay. I've had these last two cars, I've showed no proof of income, so you don't necessarily have to have proof of income, right? But I have confidence that I have the income. So having the confidence that you have the income, and it's not necessarily that you have to have the income, but you have to have the confidence to go in there and ask for the car, knowing that you would actually be able to pay that bill for them not to be able to question you, if that makes sense. So you got to have the confidence, or you got to have the money to go in there. But they haven't even asked me to check. I just go in there and say, yeah, I want this car. Yeah, I got bad credit. No, I'm not putting any money down. What can we do? The bank is going to pay them a whole check. Whether the car is $35,000, right? What difference does the $2,000 that they're asking you to put down have to do with the price of the car? If it's 35, because what happens is when you buy a car, the bank writes a check, right? The bank writes a check, and then they give the check to the dealership. So the dealership automatically cashes it, right? And then you pay the bank the money. You pay the bank the money for the loan, right? That makes no sense to pay them. Why would they need $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 if they're still getting $33,000? And so whether they write a check for $33,000 and $3,000 cash or $36,000, it's the same exact thing. So don't fall for that crap. You don't have to put no money down unless you're in like a bad spot and you're like greasing the wheel. That's different. You might each situation is specific, right, to what you have to do. But the main thing I can tell you is just go in there and try, right? Do not let the dealership hit your credit. Do not let the dealership apply for financing for you if you have ability to go to a bank first. Go to the bank first, right? Go to the bank first. Also, let me throw this in there. If you are buying a car, tell them to throw all the accessories in there. They'll do it before you buy the car. Say, look, man, throw in the mats, floor mats, all that. They'll do that, okay? That's another tip. They should put a full tank of gas in there. And the last tip, man, just open up your mind. Expand your mind, bro. You only live once. Don't be scared. Worst thing that can happen is you mess up your credit and it can be fixed. You could always fix your credit again. We're in like a war, right? There's like war going on lease and all this. Like, who cares, bro? You could figure it out. If you believe in yourself, you can figure it out, man. God's freaking got you. Go get the dang car. Man, like and subscribe. I love you guys. We'll do it again.